Today we're in Flagstaff, Arizona for the Overland Expo West, and I'm going to be showing you the top 5 Toyotas at the expo. Let's get started. This amazing event happens every year in Flagstaff, Arizona, bringing together the coolest off-road builds from all over the country for one epic weekend. We spent 3 days hunting down the best Toyotas, chatting with their owners to learn what it took to build these awesome vehicles. After hours of hard work and debate, we've picked our top 5 favorites. We hope you appreciate all the effort that went into these builds as much as we did, and we'd love to know which one was your favorite. All right, guys, we're here with Walt. Man, it's become tradition, dude. Yeah. Every year, like, you bring me a new vehicle and I'm like, oh, it's gotta make it to the top 5. How are you, man?
Great, man. Great.
Good to see you.
Yes, you too, man.
What do we have back here?
So this is a 21 Toyota Land Cruiser 200 Series Heritage Edition. We built a couple trucks for this client before. Yeah.
Let's start from the front and make our way to the back like we usually do it. What do you have for the bumper?
What we've done in the past on other 200 Series, I've really liked the Descent off-road bumpers. This is their modular bumper. Nice and clean and out of the way. Gives us plenty of room on top for whatever lighting you want to do. We tend to run LP9s a lot, LP9s, LP6s from Baja Designs. That leaves your cruise control, everything working like it should so it doesn't see the back of the light. It looks great. The lines are actually functional. It's not just for aesthetics.
Dude, before I forget, did you guys do anything to the engine?
But as far as performance goes, or powertrain and drivetrain, the engine stock, the drivetrain is modified like we normally do with gearing and lockers.
What about for the suspension?
So this is what we're calling our Stage 2. It's long travel, total chaos, upper and lower control arms. They're spindle gussets, they're cam tab gussets.
What tire size are you guys? These are 35s?
This is a 35, 1250, 17. Zero offset.
Zero offset?
Yep, zero offset on the wheel. Zero offset, 4 3/4 inch back spacing on the Method 703.
What do you have for sliders?
We've been using Metaltech a lot. We didn't have to modify these at all. It's all one piece and it's all on the existing body mounts.
So this is where it gets crazy, guys. I was about to ask you, like, what do you have for your roof rack, right? You look up and then you're like, whoa, what's going on? And then you see that it's like connected to the cab. So for the rear suspension, did you have to, what did you do to modify it?
Shocks are by Radflow and coilovers are by Radflow. So those are built to a spec that we like for this kind of weight. Stock wheelbase, stock frame, stock bumper locations. So
you didn't have to shorten anything, extend it?
We wanted to keep
that is amazing.
The total chaos stuff is rounding out the suspension in the rear, total chaos link.
All right, Walt, so I see it's got a bumper. Was this originally on the vehicle or is it part of the camper?
So the other Land Cruisers we built, we work with Descent on the rear bumpers as well. So we got their rear bumper without swing outs. Their swing outs bolt in right here. So we knew we didn't really need a swing out for the back of the camper because nothing opens back here. So I wanted to design something fixed. This is where their pivot would go, like their hinge would go. So we just used the mounting plate on the bumper itself as the base for this fixed tire carrier.
Don't tell me this is a sensor.
Yeah, this is the cross traffic sensor. So everything works like it should factory. So there's no lights on in the dash or no warnings or anything like that.
And then you got the awning, which is, as you can see, giving us good shade.
Yeah, we got some shade. Dirt box runs lights in their awning legs. So.
All right, guys, so as you can see, there's tons of space in here. I'm mind blown with the amount of headroom that we have. Yeah. Like, this is crazy. Really nicely organized here, storage space.
And this is all insulated too, so it's like a heavy canvas. If you wanted to run an AC, like a Zero Breeze or something here, you could. And heat, it's on heat. It's actually gasoline heat. It's pulling from the main gasoline tank.
No way.
So it's hot. It's really hot.
Water closet, stove. What else you got?
Like silverware utensil drawer here. There's a nice big cabinet right here that's got
I feel like I'm in an Airbnb, dude.
Yeah. All your plumbing and everything is down below this, and you can access that either from here or outside. So if you need to service something or whatever, or stash hoses and stuff, you can do that from outside. Right in the forward
What about
vent.
this right here?
That's your fridge. So it's a slide-out style fridge. So you can access that from outside. So if you're cooking outside, you can just reach in and grab something, or you can just reach in and grab something here and cook up here. So, and then you got your battery management, some USB here. This is your water tank level. There's a 18-gallon water tank right here. So you can go in the bench and access it there, but you can fill it from that side. So you can kind of see how it's bonded together. So there was a solid steel plate that went across after to reinforce all of that. Then they bonded it and then bolted it all together. So it's a semi-permanent, fixture. We wanted a high-performance truck with a high-performance camper that could actually be wheeled and have some luxury to it. So,
Walt, I'm so proud of you, man. Seeing how you started, what you built initially, and where you are now. I just got chills being in here and like remembering how it all started and where we're now.
Yeah.
Keep it going, dude.
Thanks, man. We're still a small crew. We're still only 8 people, but we're still trying to get along.
Dude, where can the people find you, man?
At TAV LLC is our Instagram. Tactical Application Vehicles on YouTube is our YouTube channel. tavllc.com is our website. So you can go to the website and have links to all of that stuff.
Sweet. Make sure to go check him out, guys. All right, guys, we're here with Aiden and his Land Cruiser. This thing is insane, and I cannot wait to show you what's inside that engine bay. How's it going, Aiden?
Good,
How are you,
man?
man?
So nice to meet you guys, and want to give you a quick recap of my build. Started it as a diesel. I blew that engine up about a year ago, pushing too much boost through a factory engine, and it was just an old engine as well. I opted to do an engine conversion on this with what people refer to as Toyota's most desirable diesel engines, 1HD FTE. I rebuilt the whole thing from the ground up. I mean, it's pushing around 330 horsepower and about 800 foot-pounds of torque.
Dude, and this thing is actually imported from Japan.
Correct, yeah. So it's a Japanese vehicle, started in Japan, had a short life in Canada, and then came to the US. So I'm from South Africa originally, and I grew up on the right-hand side of vehicles driving. So I prefer to have a right-hand drive vehicle, to be honest with you. It does make drive-throughs a little difficult, and a couple of things can be tough sometimes.
What do you have for the front bumper?
Front bumper, we've got a bumper from the Cruiser company. This is a product we import and sell in the US.
Did you realize a big gain once you did the engine swap to this new engine?
Yeah, so the old engine was maybe making 200 horsepower, probably closer to 180, 160. And it's manual as well. I manual swapped it to a 5-speed, so I enjoy driving a manual vehicle.
With you being the owner of Long Range America, I mean, I'm assuming it's got a bigger tank.
Yeah, so I used to have one of our 24-gallon tanks in the rear. We do tanks for Toyotas, Jeeps, Tacomas. We do a wide variety of tanks for overland vehicles. But this engine gets pretty good fuel consumption, so I actually put one of our 37-gallon main tanks. So it gave me about 15 gallons extra fuel. So, I can do 500-600 miles on a tank. So.
And what's your miles per gallon?
About 16. It doesn't change.
So you're part of this miles per gallon club?
Yeah, 100%. And even more smiles when you put your foot down and feel the black smoke come out the back. So
dude, no way.
This thing rolls coal heavily, yeah. It's got a 3-inch straight pipe all the way back from the turbo, and it makes a lot of noise. Big snorkel on it. It also makes a lot of intake noises.
That's got to be awesome when you put down the window.
Oh yeah, and it surges as well. It makes all sorts of cool noises. People love it. But yeah, 37s, power brakes.
Did you re-gear?
Not re-geared, no. The axles are stock. They're factory 410s. But I did do overdrive, 10% overdrive in the T-case, as well as 10% low-range gears. 10% reduction in those two, and it is my daily driver as well, so I drive it every day.
Dude, this is a badass daily. What do you have for suspension?
Suspension is Dobinson's 3.5-inch long travel, and then I have full hydro bumps on all 4 corners.
With having so much weight, you upgraded the brakes to the power brakes?
Yeah, so I upgraded my front brakes, and then rear's actually been upgraded as well as an upgraded brake booster. But the power brakes are arguably one of the best things I've done to this vehicle from a safety point of view. Delon and Power Brake are great people, and I didn't realize how much I needed brakes until I put those on. I can brake with one toe on the pedal, like it stops quick.
Have you done anything in the interior? I know your back is really nicely built.
Yeah, so interior from the front side is pretty stock.
Dude, it's a time machine.
The rear is, it's rad. I love it. It's simple. It's got a center console fridge that makes ice cubes too.
Oh, sick.
And then the rear is where it gets fun. It's got full goose gear in it, 12 gallons of water in it. It has an espresso machine in it too.
Let's go check it out.
The espresso machine's rad. I designed and built my own module for this to match the goose gear. I wanted to look as similar to the goose gear as I could. So it's a full pantry with a Breville espresso machine. Yeah, it works great. I make espresso every day. Yeah, so this is the full goose gear module. This is their full delete for the 80 series, so you can sleep inside of it as well. And this is their premium, the top of the line for the 80. This thing is like my house, so it needs to have everything in it for me. I don't have a trailer, I don't tow anything. So it needs to be able to cook and house myself, my girlfriend, and my dog. Yes, so it's got LU cab all around it, and then obviously the rear bumper. This is a bumper from the Cruiser company. It's a modular swing.
Before we started filming, you had mentioned something about a lot of nights that you've gone camping.
Oh yeah.
How many nights have you gone camping, and how long did it take you to get to this point? Right. And what advice would you give someone that's just
I started basic. I was an international student. I didn't have a bunch of money for this, this overland space. It's not a cheap hobby. So I started out of my 2-door Jeep, and I slept out of a hammock, and I had a cooler. I did that for a long time. In 2020, I built this vehicle. I camped 130, 140 nights of 2020 during COVID. And the US was it was abandoned. It was quiet everywhere. It was amazing. It was truly a treat. Only advice I would give is just go out and camp. You just be outside. You don't need to have all of this stuff to go out. A good set of tires and a lift can get you a long way. You don't even necessarily need a lift. Figure out what works for you. Build never stops. I'm sure everyone can relate to that, but you know, this vehicle's pretty much done now for me until until the next project, I guess. But yeah, just get outside and camp and yeah, and just enjoy it.
Thanks, dude.
Thanks, man.
Sick rig.
Thank you.
All right, guys, we're here with KC and this insane looking restored Land Cruiser. What year is it from?
It's a 1986 FJ60, and we just recently fitted it to a mid-90s FZJ80 chassis. It actually came in 2 different stages. It was restored a few years ago where we did just an exterior paint, interior, engine bay restoration. And then the guy took it, daily drove it for a while, and then decided to bring it back and do the chassis conversion just recently. So we just recently finished that up.
Dude, I'm in absolute love with this thing. You guys did such a good job.
It's one of my
restoring.
favorites. It's an awesome rig for sure.
What about the engine? Did you guys have to restore that? Or is it,
Yeah,
is
so
it
the
still
engine,
original?
like I said, the first time we restored it was an original 2F. He wanted to keep it original as far as the engine goes. It does have a 5-speed behind it and a newer transfer case. It came with a 4-speed originally. When we did a chassis change, we put that engine back in it.
Let's start from the front and make our way to the back. What front bumper is that?
ARB bumper that we modified to fit the 80 series chassis. We got our Baja Designs lights that we like to use, the LP9s.
What about those headlights, man? Are those KC?
Rigid truck light LED headlights.
No way.
Yeah, so we like to use those. They're on both of these too.
Dude, those have got to be super
They're
bright.
super bright, super, yeah.
Makes it really modern too.
Yeah, because you know, the old 7-inch round halogen lights left a lot to be desired, so these truck lights are a lot nicer for sure.
What about wheels and tires? What size?
They're 35 Nito bridge grapplers on Nomad wheels.
Did you guys fabricate that slider yourself?
Yep, so in-house fabrication on the sliders, and when we get to the back bumper, that is ours too.
What about interior, man? I know this is huge with like restorations, like the interior can sometimes be left behind.
Kind of stay true to the kind of original stuff, just this simple, clean, all leather interior. It's got kind of a faux suede headliner in this one.
What about the roof rack? What do you guys have up there?
Roof rack is an easy-on roof rack, K9 roof rack. Fits the Outback kind of Australian kind of theme with the Land Cruiser, so.
It looks sick, dude. Now the vehicle has a really nice stance. What suspension do you guys have?
It's all an Old Man Emu suspension. It's got Old Man Emu springs and then the BP51 remote reservoir shocks, which are super nice.
Let's move on to the back, see what you guys did back there. I see there's an aftermarket bumper as well.
We build these bumpers, dual swing outs. We got the basket for your cooler, and then obviously a spare tire. We integrate FJ40 taillights into them. Because once you have the basket, the tire, you can't, you know, it blocks the regular tail light.
Yeah.
So we put the FJ40 taillights in the bumper so you can still have brakes.
KC, thank you so much for your
Thank
time,
you.
man. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, guys, up next, we're here with Peter. Peter, dude, you got one badass looking Tundra. I want to know all about it. Let's start from the front and make our way to the back.
Thank you,
What do you
Mateo.
have for the front bumper, man?
All right, so front bumper is made by Outgear Solution, lit up by Baja Design. Shout out to the boys over there. Baja Design, light bar in the grill as well. Shout out to Alpha X, Danny,
Dude,
and
how
Bryce.
awesome are those lights?
Super bright. I always recommend it to all my followers when they ask me.
I see your truck sitting wide. You have glass on it?
Super wide, yes. So these are made by Fiberworks. These are the 6-inch bulge to accommodate the 40-inch Toyo tires. Shout out by Toyo tires as well.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me here. Currently on TE 37s, 17-inch, -10s. I love them, they're amazing.
What do you have for sliders?
So for sliders, these are made by Outgear Solution as well too. These are prototypes, so they are gonna be in production for long bed and short bed.
Dude, before we move on to the back, let's talk suspension.
Yes, so suspension wise, these are Kings. And then we have the Camberg upper control arms.
Dude, and I was just geeking out with you and you told me you're looking at doing like a true long travel on it.
That is correct. We are currently working with Camberg on that.
Have you done anything to the engine bay?
Yes, so engine bay, we do have cold air intakes by HPS Performance.
How are you liking it?
I love it. You can hear the turbo spool, you can hear the blow off valve on it. It's amazing.
Let's move on to the top. What do you have for the roof rack?
All right, so roof rack, these are by Pro Speed Rack. This is a prototype as well. We literally just installed them on right before the show. We are working on different designs to accommodate people with sunroof, panoramic roof, or no roof at all. Ditch lights, we have Baja Designs.
Dude, and then the back is also looking wide. Is that also Fiberworks glass?
Correct, these are Fiberworks glass. These are the 3-inch bulge. These are 6.5 feet for a long bed.
Let's move on to the back, see what you
All
have back
right.
there. Oh, cool, dude, you have a swing out.
Yes, so this swing lamp right here is made by Simple Fab, located in Southern California. I wanted to keep the OEM look. They literally came out just right in this crevice right here and build the whole support frame that goes underneath.
And then you have Bajas that were also cut into the bumper, I see.
Correct. I cut them out, I installed them myself. Bed slide. You know, we do a lot of camping and we're always throwing in gears. I'm always constantly having to jump up and down Now I pull them out all the way, I load up all of our camping gears, just slide them right on back in.
What's the future for this rig?
Long travel, that's gonna be the next one.
Cool, man. Peter, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you,
Truck's
Mateo.
looking awesome, man.
I appreciate you guys.
Thank
you.
All right, guys, we're here with Curtis from Durabumps and his 2002 4Runner, dude.
We actually wheel the snot out of this thing. We love to wheel hard. If we're not on 3 wheels, we're not 4-wheeling. Full Baja designs, S1s, XL80s, and we've got the Onyx bar.
Dude, one of the things that really caught my eye is how you guys fit those light
Yes.
bars in there.
12K winch in here. I have an integrated skid plate into the front bumper. It's all one piece.
Sick.
Everything's on a custom standalone wire harness, completely separate from the factory OEM electrical, so I don't have any issues on the trail.
What about your engine? Have you done anything to the engine?
Stock! Toyota reliability, baby.
Cool, man. On what size tires?
I'm on a 35-inch tire on the KMC Impact beadlocks. Absolutely love that
You have to
vintage look.
re-gear?
Yes, I'm on 529s with the Harop E-Locker front and rear. We're running Yukon chromoly axles in this thing. All the EIM Keith furniture for skid plates, rear link reinforcements, and of course we've got full Total Chaos and the ADS product line on it as well.
Go check that
Check
out.
that out,
Yeah.
that's the fun part. Proudly rocking ADS 2.5 coilover with remote resi and adjustable clickers. And I've got a 3-tube 2.5 ADS bypass shock back here. And of course, this truck's proudly running American-made Durabumps.
Yeah.
3rd gen 4Runners happen to have 2 bump stops per lower control arm. So I have one up front here that's a little bit shorter than the one in the back. And by running 2 bump stops per lower control arm, we're able to achieve 4 stages of compression dampening. And we're very similar to compression load you would expect out of a hydraulic bump stop. And it's also a great upgrade for entry-level guys. We also got the big brake kit on here.
How do you like him, man? Did you notice a difference when you got him?
I love slamming on the brakes with my boys in the truck for the first time. These 6-piston calipers are amazing.
What did you do for sliders? Did you fabricate that yourself?
No, these are RSG sliders. They've been working really good for us. They're the weld-ons. We also have the Total Chaos fabrication upper control arm. Their lower control arm, factory width.
Oh, it's factory width?
Factory width, not the long travel. This is their new version, just came out a few months ago.
No way.
And I'm also running the lower ball joint conversion kit. And I also have their Heim steering on here, which is super badass.
Oh, dude, I'm falling in love with this 4Runner more and more, the more you talk about it.
Oh yeah, lots of details. I have cased rocks with this particular lower control arm more often than I'd like to admit. And we're destroying rocks out there and just keep on going.
Cool, man. Let's head on to the back.
Yeah, the back's awesome. So back here, we're running the Total Chaos rear links, including track bar. So by going to this Heim joint style link system, it allows full droop, full articulation. I'm not prying on all the rubber grommets and having to replace them every 5,000 miles type thing. And I got this ADS 2.5 smooth body back here with the remote reservoir, with the clickers.
What is that rear bumper?
This rear bumper is EIM Keith. We got the S2 Pros in here for backing up on the trail.
Dude, if you could give advice to someone that's just starting out, man, you know, they can get overwhelmed sometimes. What advice would you give them?
I would suggest identifying the type of wheeling that you're gonna go out doing and make sure that the suspension that you bolt on is gonna accommodate that. If you're going out to the trailhead or hiking with the kids, you know, a certain suspension kit's great. And if you're railing across the desert like we do, you need bigger parts. You gotta pay once, cry once, and don't learn like everybody else the hard way, buying over and over again like myself. Climbing the ladder incrementally is the long road.
Hell yeah, Curtis. Thank you so much for your time in the walk around, dude.
Awesome, bud. Thank you.
Let me know which Toyota you like best in the comment section down below. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to smash that like button. If you haven't already done so, make sure to subscribe. Hit that bell icon so that YouTube can notify you when we release new videos. And I'll see you on the next one.